The flight that never landed. My name is Andreas, and I've carried this story with me for almost my entire life. I was just a child when it happened, but the memories are still sharp enough to send chills down my spine every time I think about it. I was supposed to be on that flight, Swissair Flight 330. It was February 21st, 1970. My family had been planning a trip to Israel for months. My mother had been saving up for years to make this pilgrimage. I remember she was so excited, talking non-stop about the places we would visit, the ancient streets of Jerusalem, the Sea of Galilee. I was 9 years old at the time, more interested in the fact that I would get to miss a whole week of school. The day we were supposed to leave, my father had a terrible migraine. He never got sick, never. But that morning he was pale, his face twisted in pain, and he couldn't get out of bed. My mom decided we couldn't go. I remember being furious. I was a kid, I didn't understand. I thought my father was just ruining our vacation, but we cancelled our flight, and I sulked all day. A few hours later we got the news. Swissair Flight 330, the one we were supposed to be on, exploded in mid-air shortly after takeoff. A bomb had been planted by terrorists. The plane crashed into a field near Vurenlingen, killing all 47 people on board. Everyone gone, just like that. It wasn't until I got older that I began to fully comprehend how close we had come to dying that day. I often think about the families that boarded that flight. The children, probably excited like me, tugging on their parents' sleeves, looking forward to an adventure. And then nothing. Silence. But here's the part that still haunts me. It's not just that we missed the flight, it's what happened after. About a week after the crash, I started waking up in the middle of the night to strange sounds. Whispers. Almost like soft voices right outside my window. At first I thought it was just my imagination, but one night I got up to check. I pulled back the curtain, and there, standing in the dim light of the street lamp, was a woman. She was wearing a dress that looked too old-fashioned for the time, something like you'd see in old photos from the 50s or 60s. Her face was pale, and her eyes were hollow, as if she had been crying for days. She didn't speak, just stared at me with this sorrowful expression. I froze. I didn't know what to do, so I backed away slowly. But every night after that, she was there, always outside my window, always watching. I tried to tell my parents, but they brushed it off as nightmares, and maybe that's what it was. Until the dream. One night I had this dream, or at least I think it was a dream. I was on a plane, Swissair Flight 330. The air felt heavy, like something was wrong. The passengers were there, all 47 of them, but they weren't talking. They were just staring straight ahead like they knew what was coming. And then I saw her, the woman from outside my window. She was sitting in the seat right across the aisle from me, clutching a photograph in her hands, her eyes empty and full of sadness. And that's when I heard it, the explosion. The plane ripped apart in the air, and I woke up gasping, drenched in sweat. After that, I never saw the woman again, but the memory of her and that flight never left me. I can't help but wonder if she was trying to tell me something, trying to show me what could have been. Maybe she was a passenger, one of the 47 souls who never got to where they were going, trapped somewhere between this world and the next. And maybe, just maybe, she was there to remind me how fragile life really is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more hair-raising stories and ghostly encounters.